So thank you all so much for this wonderful opportunity to be here today. Um, it is, when I was doing the prep call earlier, I realized, or I was informed that there were uh, almost 600 people that had registered to attend this event. And as someone who's been in the circular economy now for half a decade or more, that's really heartening to see, especially on a Monday morning, no less. But it's really a testament to the community that is being created around this movement. And hats off to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation and others for really creating the knowledge that really is the fuel for what we do. And so the first thing that I wanted to start off with is about a quote in front of us. It says, "The innovation challenge of the century will be to foster prosperity in a world of finite resources." And I think that really encapsulates a lot of what we as circular economy enthusiasts and sustainability professionals are trying to achieve, and trying to really find solutions to. And the circular economy is that solution. And it's something that, as we just heard before, it's an enormous economics opportunity. In many ways, Rubicon was founded as a business to solve the circular economy. The city of New York has identified enormous economic opportunities in the circular economy. And it's also a very significant environmental opportunity as well. And I think that's where this intersection of opportunity for both the economy and the environment is so interesting and appealing. So the next slide here really expounds upon it. And this is in many ways how we at Rubicon think about the way that waste plays into the environmental discussion. So and I'm gonna go from right to left. So we just spoke about natural resources. And there's a waste earth intersection. And I think a lot of us are familiar, but some of us may not be, with this concept of Earth Overshoot Day. And that's the date when society, essentially our demand as a growing world and an accelerating world for ecological resources and services really exceeds what Earth can generate in a day. In that same year. And so that's why this transition to the circular economy is so important, because we need to be cognizant of our impact on the environment and also use the materials and resources that we already have in circulation for longer periods of time. The middle one is the wastewater intersection. And so that is something that is really front and center with the stories of the plastic problem. But that's another byproduct of the linear economy and one of the solutions that the circular economy will help to solve. And then the last one on the left is what I call the waste air intersection. And that is something that I think is really important for circular economy enthusiasts and practitioners to really make sure that we understand and start to promote. With all the talk about hitting the Paris 2050 climate agreement and other carbon, and net zero targets, this one is very important. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation even came out with a study that said that only 55% of the solution for the net zero and carbon challenge that we all face can be had in energy and other areas, and that the rest, the other 45%, are embedded in the circular economy. And so it's a little known fact, certainly outside of this audience, but one that I think we've seen resonate a lot with businesses and other practitioners with whom we interact with. And it's sometimes a very eye-opening experience for them to understand that they can play a role through waste in the carbon solution and challenges out there. So kind of, getting to a little more specifics, why is waste and recycling such a challenge when you look at the pillars of sustainability: water, energy, waste? And it's largely, certainly from a US point of view, because of the massive amount of decentralization and the challenges that come with that. If I were sitting in our office in Atlanta, I'd be looking at the skyline. And every building in downtown Atlanta is serviced by one water company and one energy company. But there are dozens of different waste and recycling and associated haulers that come in and out of those buildings every day. And they all have different invoices, different reporting structures. And it takes an enormous amount of work and to really just get a level set understanding of what is happening in this industry and in your portfolio. And that's really the premise by which Rubicon was founded, was to bring technology, software, and data and insights into this area so that we can find solutions that are data-driven, that are insights, and that ultimately create action. So what I'd like to do now is talk to you all a little bit about how we have taken some of, or a lot of this ambition, the circular economy ambition, the thought papers, the white papers, all of this massive theory, and put it to action through, activities that we do every day at Rubicon by trying to solve this waste and recycling challenge, but also meeting the demands of everyday businesses. And how do we do that? One topic of importance here, I think, to share is the one about construction and demolition. So construction and demolition waste, it affects really all of us in any segment. When there's a new build with new construction, renovations, you name it. And it's estimated that about 30 to 70% of this waste is sent to landfills. And it's in a massive amount. In the US alone, that's about 530 million tons of waste. So at Rubicon, what we've set out to do is come up with innovative solutions about how to make that challenge, how to solve that challenge in essence. And so one great example is a hometown team here in Atlanta, the Atlanta Hawks basketball team, National Basketball Association team. And they were going through a massive renovation of their arena. And, in most cases, a lot of the waste that was generated would probably have gone to the landfill. But they had very ambitious goals to become one of the leading and most advanced sustainable arenas in the world. And a core component of that was LEED certification, along with some other activities that they were doing. And so, again, where this ambition meets the road is we met with them, we understood their goal, we looked at the data, and then we looked for a solution that did not require landfills for items such as old seats. These are very hard to recycle items, things that don't have solutions that are ready-made. But through this intersection of both them as a company that was generating this material, us, Rubicon, through our partners and through our technology, we were able to then find a better solution that did not require the landfill for that solution. Another similar example is what we've done with companies and renovations. So one was through this activity where we were working with a coffee chain, and there were some fixtures that were that needed to be upgraded, and through just some regular renovations and modernization activities. And these things were very difficult to recycle. They didn't have an easy solution. However, with this commitment to finding a circular economy, we were able to work with one of our partners and essentially create that marketplace. And I think that's an important theme, which is creating this circular marketplace. There is a lot of well-established businesses in the recycling space for a lot of the major commodities. And they are at scale, and they are really ready-made solutions in a lot of cases. What it does not exist, and where a lot of the effort, innovation, and commitment has to come into play, is for these burgeoning areas of circularity. So some of the more difficult to place items that don't fit in your typical recycling stream. And that's where we at Rubicon put a lot of emphasis to create the demand, to generate the scale, so that eventually finding solutions to organics or certain plastics would be as common as finding a local recycler. And that transition is going to take time. But what's really positive and encouraging is that businesses are responding, and they are helping to be the catalyst for that. And then the last example I'll give, again, about creating this circular marketplace was our work with our partner Chipotle. There were gloves that were being used in the production of food, and historically they had gone to the landfill. But that wasn't something that Chipotle was, wanting to continue. They have very ambitious sustainability goals, and Rubicon and our mission to end waste, we wanted to help find a solution. And working together, we were able to locate a company that could create new bags out of those gloves and essentially extend the life. And again, going back to that circular marketplace concept, ultimately what's happening is these companies, these upstarts that are happening throughout the US and the world, are starting to receive the demand from companies like Chipotle and partners like Rubicon to grow their business. And so I think we are in a very positive moment in terms of the circular economy, but we have to maintain our momentum, and we have to continue to push for those solutions. And that's why I think this conference is so exciting, and being on the stage with so many different sectors, I think that's critical too, because it's going to take a cross-sectional and cross-collaborative solution. And so I'll pause there, but I'm looking forward to joining the panel later. And thank you all for this opportunity. And on back to you all for the next segment here.
Thank you so much, David. That was a great presentation, and really nice to hear those concrete examples of what Rubicon has been working on.